Hello Leo, and welcome to my channel. Welcome to those of you who have been here before. I'm just going to pull that over a wee bit, less blinding. And welcome to those of you who've come across to find out what it's all about. My name's Colette and my channel is Inspiring Life Changes, and I'm here today to do this reading for Leo, who are Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising and Cusp energy of Leo. And Leos, if you don't know where those placements are for yourselves, there will be a free natal link in the description box that is down below for you to go and check that out for yourselves. It's always worth knowing your own birth chart, because then you can have bigger picture, bigger understanding of what's taking place in your life with regard to the actual astrology of what's happening in the sky, and also with regard to the tarot readings themselves. So if you know where your moon is, you can read your corresponding tarot reading, not only on my channel but on other tarot readers' channels as well. So if you haven't checked that out for yourselves already, I would recommend you doing so, particularly your Venus, because this is a love reading that I'm doing today, Leo, for you and the person that you have your strongest energetic heart connection with at this time. So I will be using two decks of cards. The first decks of cards, I've lost them. Here they are. The first deck of cards, Leo, are the Gilded Tarot, which I will be using for yourself. And this deck of cards is the Shadowscape Tarot, which I will be using for the person that you have this connection with, to see how they're feeling about what the situation is, what is going on around the situation as well. So cross watchers, if you're in a relationship, have been in a relationship or want to be in a relationship with a Leo, just be aware that this reading could actually be your story that is being told here as well. It may not necessarily actually be the Leo in your life that is being told here. So with that being said, the overall energy for the reading is coming from the King of Cups, from the suit of cups that I separate. For those of you who haven't been here before, I always separate one set of cups from my tarot cards for an overall picture and understanding of what the energy is. We have the King of Cups, which is a strong, emotional, intelligent energy. It's an energy that kind of understands itself on an emotional level. But I do liken the King of Cups, which is an energy of all the water elements, the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces. But particularly Cancer, and we do have the Sun in Cancer at this time as well, Leo. So this may also have something to do with why you could be feeling sensitive at this time, because the King of Cups is a little bit like the crab down the bottom here. He kind of tests the water before he dives in. So there may be a situation here where you're feeling that you're kind of needing to hold back a little bit at this time, Leo, that you're emotionally mulling things over is also what's coming into my head. But while I was doing the meditation with the cards earlier, I got this really strong sense of holding on to something. Like the cards became like closer to me. It was like they were literally like being held against my chest, shall we say, because usually I just hold them flat in front of me. But this time they were like moving onto my chest, like they really wanted to be there. So Leo, I don't know if that's got anything to do with you wanting to be in somebody's life, that heart place that you feel that you belong, or this person belongs in your heart and you know it. But at this time I feel, because we also have the Eight of Cups in reverse as well, I do feel as though there is a sense of having to kind of dive into the emotional realm at this time. You also have Mars and Venus in your sign, Leo, at this time. Both Mars and Venus are in your sign, and you've got a lot of activity actually happening astrologically. You're opposing Saturn and squaring Uranus, so big changes could be happening around your life at this time But this is talking about this emotional journey into the depths. But because it's in reverse, it could also be something that you're reluctant to do. You don't really want to go and look at the kind of finer details here, maybe. I feel as though there's like a holding back, like something is holding back here. And that does kind of come through with the reading itself as well. So the first card that we have here for you, Leo, is the Four of Wands in reverse. And I'm doing the Celtic cross, by the way. So the Four of Wands is saying to me here in reverse that there was a sense of stability within, I would say, this relationship, because you are covered by the Three of Swords, which is always the wounded heart. If you look at the card itself, you can see that it's literally stabbed by all these daggers. There's a feeling of something that has not, that has deeply wounded, that has not turned out the way you were expecting it or wanting it. Like there was a situation that you thought was stable, you wanted it to be stable, you were building towards it being stable. You were even maybe thinking that it had got to a point where you could start to feel more relaxed in it, or celebrate it, or feel as though you belonged in it. But something has happened. And I feel, because this is your challenge, this is something I feel that has maybe happened more than once in this scenario, or possibly something that has happened to you. I'm getting the feeling of more than once, but that may not be for all of you Leos out there. But this is a painful situation. It can also be a very cathartic situation, because it kind of helps you to see through something that you may have almost romanticized as well. With the King of Cups, you may have romanticized it or fantasized it somehow, because that is something else that the water element can do as well. But there's just this general feeling that at this time, almost like the Four of Wands is almost like a mini tower. I'm feeling it's almost like a mini tower, like you weren't expecting it. And that again is something that has kind of come through in these two cards here in your head and what you're aware of, with the King of Wands in reverse here and the Knight of Swords in reverse here. I feel as though this is something that happened very, very quickly, and something that you had a lot of passion for, somebody who you really had a strong, passionate, sensual, sexual attraction with. Like something, but this is something, as I was saying, with the Knight of Swords, it was like something just cut off very fast. And because the Knight of Swords is in reverse as well, I feel as though it was something that was almost unspoken. It's like something completely out of the blue is what's coming through for me. Where something had been, again, this feeling where something had been being brought to a point of stability, but then all of a sudden it changed. And it has something to do with this energy here, which feels like a blockage in itself. It's like something has blocked your heart here, Leo, or you yourself are blocking your heart here, Leo, which is also possibly why I felt that really strong heart energy. But I do feel as though that whoever this is about, there is a very strong connection with this person, because you both have come out with this very sexually, I mean, it is very Leo energy. It's all the fire sign energy, the fire element, Leo Aries, Sagittarius, very passionate, very driven, very dynamic energy. So you could be dealing with somebody who also has a lot of fire in their chart, Leo. And this could be what kind of draws the two of you together. But it could also be something that kind of pushes you apart as well. Like it's a very strong magnetic draw, almost like that neither of you can ignore, but then it feels like it comes together and then kind of moves apart just as quickly. And I would, on some occasions, I would say that this is kind of like friends with benefits, shall we say, that you're both getting what you need out of this, but it doesn't so much feel like that kind of an energy. It feels like something that is very, very deep-rooted and strongly felt on both sides. And I think that's also what's kind of making things very confusing here as well, or very kind of like unstable, shall we say. But it does feel with this Three of Swords, just going back to this three, which is kind of blocking this energy, that there is something here, again with this King of Cups and the Eight of Cups that was at the bottom, that there's something that has not been looked into, or you may well be in the process of doing this at this time, Leo, kind of trying to work out emotionally, because I feel as though you're kind of just wanting to move beyond it. You're trying to kind of just move past it. It's like, can we just kind of just move past that very quickly? Whatever that sudden blockage was or stoppage was, in your head, there's this sense of like, well, let's just kind of move past that. But the King of Cups is kind of saying, no, you've got to kind of sit in this emotional place and allow yourself to feel it, to feel what you are feeling. And you may not want to be doing that, Leo. As a Leo, a fire energy, you may want to kind of be much more like doing, action orientated. Let's just do this instead and just put that in the past kind of energy. But the King of Cups upright is saying that now is a good time with the Sun in Cancer, literally, to really look into where this is coming from. Because I feel as though it's coming from you, Leo, that this is your expectations possibly in a relationship, like wanting something to advance, but it's not. But it's tied up with situations from your past also, possibly, like taking those same energies into this situation, this relationship, and kind of repeating that pattern. Because you haven't kind of looked into where it's coming from on a deeper level. So the subconscious realm, what you're maybe not so aware of at this time, Leo, we had the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So it's saying to me there is this situation of past and future that is needing to be kind of reconciled within you, shall we say. I'm just noticing this rainbow that is kind of going from one to the other here as well. But because it's in reverse, it's kind of, it feels like you're not noticing it, you're not seeing it, you're not almost like it's there it's there, you can reach it, you can touch it, it's tangible, but at the same time you're not actually doing anything about it, because Pentacles is about you kind of creating something very much in the physical world, in the reality, in the kind of making something concrete, making it a real experience. As this is talking to me about something that you have kind of bypassed or ignored. Again, it's kind of similar to this energy here. But this may not just be you, Leo, that's doing this. This could also be coming from this upside down Queen of Wands energy here as well. That something is not in balance between the two of you, which is why I feel that there is this kind of like magnetic draw, but then also this kind of like two magnets coming together in the wrong in the wrong way. So it's like two north poles or two south poles rather than a north and a south pole. So so there's this kind of repelling force is what I'm kind of feeling here. And or maybe that's what that magnet is showing me. So it's almost, again, it almost feels like, you know, when you think that things are going to start coming together and you feel as though things are going to start to get built on and create something in the real world, it doesn't happen. For some reason, for whatever reason that may be, something happens and the dynamic changes again, and you're back, it feels like you're back at this place here with this instability and this heartache, this kind of real deep wounding. So we have the Ace of Cups as the energy that is moving in reverse. And I'm seeing this as that heart energy that I was feeling. But I feel as though because it's in reverse, it's not being expressed, it's not being able to be given. And then if we go back to this King of Cups, he's kind of just holding that cup in his hand here. And so in reverse, it does feel to me as though there is something saying that this isn't the right time. But it also feels as though something is being, again, held onto. Like there's a situation of something that you are not willing to let go of here. That this is your broken heart. But you need in some way to work on where this is coming from. And I feel that this, Leo, is about your... coming through as a sense of lack of not deserving to feel happy, to have that happiness, to have that love in your life. Like not deserving, not allowed, like you've almost like you're convincing yourself or punishing yourself or resisting love. A sense of resistance here. Also not deserving. Yeah, it's the same kind of energy of like, you know, I don't deserve it, I'm not good enough. It just brings me pain every time I try. But at the same time, it's like it's there, it's sitting there, and it's not going anywhere, it's not going away, it's coming back around, it's coming in again, in fact. But whether it's with this same person or whether it's going to be with somebody completely different, I feel if it's with somebody completely different, you're still very closed. You're not open. You're still guarded here. You're still protecting this heart of yours, which has been hurt and wounded here, Leo. And if it is with the same person, it's the same story. You are still kind of mistrusting. But again, I feel as though it goes back to you feeling whether or not you deserve to have that. Do you deserve that love? And that's really what you need to ask yourself here with this card, Leo, is how deserving am I? How deserving do I feel that I am to be allowed to have this love, to let this love into my life, to allow myself to feel it on a deep level? Because the aces are a new energy, but when it's in reverse, it's kind of saying that there is this blockage. And I'm kind of seeing that here as well, because we have the Seven of Swords, which is, I feel, you kind of trying to retreat out of a situation here, trying to take a back door. And it could be because you're protecting your wounded heart here. Because also, if you see, he's picking up those swords, those 5 swords. And there's 2 still left on the ground there. Which for me is kind of this sense that both of you have things to say or things that are left unsaid. Because we've got the Chariot here as well, which is saying that nothing's moving forward, nothing is being resolved. You don't feel as though you're in control of your life at this time, Leo. And I feel that every time this kicks in, this is your default mode, shall we say. Let's just take a back door route out of here. Let's not, it's like you don't want to be you don't want to be hurt anymore. You don't want to discuss things. You don't want to open up any more of this wounding is how it's feeling. Like this can of worms. You feel as though that's how it's kind of coming through. Like you feel as though it's like this can of worms and you don't want to open it up. And in a way as well, these swords today, because this is a card of self-deception as well. But these 5 swords here for me are coming through today like memories. Like you would rather take what you can, the good times, and kind of hold on to them, store them, which is again why I think I was feeling that kind of that really tight energy, like really holding on to something really close to the chest. Which the 7 of Swords can also be, because you're not feeling as though you can communicate how you're feeling here. Again, whether that's to do with somebody new coming into your life or whether that's the same person that you are having or have had this situation with. But there is big change and transformation taking place here with the Death card, and the Death card came out upright as well. So that means that there's a there's an awareness of change that is taking place here. On a really deep level as well. Like almost like character changing. Like a rebirth, something being reborn, which could also be this relationship as well. Because this white rose for me up there on the back of that, on the front, sorry, of that black flag, kind of relates to me for a relationship. And it's like your heart, again, your heart energy. There's a purity here. So it almost feels like what I'm seeing is kind of rising out or climbing out of all of the pain and the kind of almost in a way like this is making this change happen, or this death occur within you, and you may not be connecting the two. Not that you're not aware of it, that this change is occurring in your life, but the fact that it's got a lot to do with this situation as well may be something that you're possibly not aware of. Some of you Leos may be aware of it. But it feels like something new, fresh. Like clearing out the dross somehow is what I'm getting. So we'll see what else comes. But in your hopes and your fears, you have the Eight of Pentacles. So there is a part of you that still wants to work with this, wants to work on it, wants to make something more from it, wants it to... And again, I'm kind of seeing it as one of these pentacles down here as well. And I'm also, again, getting this situation, that idea of like, you know, which one are you going to focus on? Whichever one you focus on. Like the not happening or the happening side of it will make a difference as to the outcome. Because each of these up here are lessons that you've been through. Things that you've tried. Maybe to do with this actual relationship. Like you've tried all of these different situations and you haven't given up. You're still kind of there, devoted. Studying. Trying to understand. But all of if you look carefully, you can see all the others are kind of covered in cobwebs. So it's kind of saying to me that, you know, this is the past energy. This is the stuff that needs to be kind of let go of for this rebirth to take place, and for this new opportunity, which is this pentacle here, which also I feel is again one of these down here, like focus of attention is important. Because it feels like this is your life itself. This pentacle is the all of this is the past, and this is where you are at present. So this is your life, this actual pentacle, which you are creating. So it's saying to me, what are you putting into that as to what you're going to get out from it, what's going to come back from it. But that is your hopes and your fears, is that the time and the energy and the effort that you are willing to put into it will eventually give you some kind of reward. Because again, the Seven of Pentacles can talk about rewards for the effort that you have put into something in the past. And finally, we have 3 cards that will come out together. So we have the 5 of Cups, we have the 3 of Cups, and we have the King of Swords. I'm going to look at them separately first. So the 5 of Cups talks about, and it's in reverse, it talks about a sense of sadness, a sense of sorrow, a sense of not being able to do any more with a situation. It's like he's literally down on his knees and he doesn't know. I always feel this card is kind of like almost like praying. He always looks to me like he's praying, like he's just like, I don't know what to do next. I have no idea how to get this to work, how to get this to, because you've got 3 spilt cups in the grass down here, and the 2 cups that are still standing behind him are the ones that he's not looking at. His focus of attention is much more on these 3 cups that have fallen over down there. And we do also have the 3 of Cups straight after this as well. So this could also be a situation that, for some of you, not all of you, could have involved an outside energy, shall we say, another energy that has come in to disturb the dynamic here, because the 3 of Cups can talk about a third person, a third energy. That energy doesn't have to be a third person though. It doesn't have to be a person. It can be somebody who puts too much time into something else, so that they're neglectful of a situation that they're supposed to be, or I say supposed to be, that they should, all of that kind of thing, putting more time and energy and effort into, to particularly when it comes to the 3 of Cups. It is about building on a relationship, because it comes after the 2 with the initial attraction. So the 3rd is kind of taking it that one step further, or it's that situation of, do I want to put my time and my energy and effort into this and actually make it a reality, bring it into my life and share my life with this individual. But it can also be an energy of, as I was saying, of like putting a lot of time into something else. So that 3rd energy does not have to necessarily be a person. It can be a job. It can be a family member that has taken up a lot of your time, so therefore you're not able to focus or give the attention that you possibly would do otherwise. It can be a pet. It can be anything that kind of takes your attention away from something that you're, because for me it's the 3 of Cups here laying in the grass. But there is still these 2, as I was saying, there is still these 2 cups behind him, which is symbolic of something that is still very powerful, still very sorry, my throat just went a bit funny. Still very connected and still very has a lot of potential. There is still potential there. What happens with that potential, I feel, is going to be down to your decision, your acceptance here, Leo. Also your perception, King of Swords, he's today I'm seeing very much as kind of being open to communication, because he's upright and he has his sword pointing down, so he's not wanting to cause arguments or cause problems in the situation. But it is also an energy of, like, you know, knowing the truth. Highly perceptive. He knows the truth. And he can also tell when somebody, I feel as though this could possibly be your energy here, Leo, as well, knowing when somebody's not telling you that truth on a deeper level, like you feel it somehow. But I feel as well that you are not going to be the person here that is going to instigate communication. It's like, I'll sit here and you can come to me, whoever this person is, and we can discuss whatever it needs to be discussed here. I feel as though you are going to get to that point. Not immediately, because we do have this 5 of Cups and this 3 of Cups as well. And with the King of Cups there as well, I do feel as though you yourself have to go through a process of arriving at feeling maybe strong enough, but also of not, like I was saying, not feeling like you need to attack this person. And even not feeling like you're not guarding yourself as such. It's a very relaxed situation there, or like the way that he's sitting is very relaxed. He's not closed off. So that's how I feel that you are going to approach this situation, Leo, in the long term. It's like you're still going to be open, but at the same time, with this Knight of Swords here as well, in reverse, I do feel as though you're not going to be the one that's going to be making any sudden quick moves to change anything. Also with that 7 of Swords and the Chariot down there as well, that also implies the same kind of situation. The Ace of Cups could also be wanting an apology, or wanting, for some of you, it could be about wanting to give an apology. But again, not until you're ready. It kind of feels like there is a situation of almost like a breakthrough as well with this King of Cups. Almost like going from seeing these 3 of Cups energies here, I do feel as though there is another outside element involved in this, because you've got the 3 of Swords with the 3 swords in it. You've got the 3 of Cups and the 3 of Cups. But the King of Swords here almost feels like a breakthrough to this energy of kind of feeling possibly responsible about something. Possibly with the Five of Cups as well, it can also be a feeling of guilt. Or this other person may see you as being guilty of something. Over the top of your Four of Wands and your Three of Swords, this person has the Ace of Wands, which is, again, that very sexually charged energy. Very passionate, this new passionate driving force. This person could also be feeling very argumentative. Ace of Wands needs direction. All aces need direction. They need somewhere to be channeled into. And when it's this kind of energy, again, fire energy, if it doesn't get focused and directed into something very positive and constructive, then it can become very destructive, even though it's not in reverse. So, but the potential is there for this person to kind of I'm getting let rip in my head, like they can very easily kind of just, and I feel as though it's bursts as well. It comes in bursts, like this person will just kind of verbally kind of vomit, shall we say. It's their way of expressing, it's their way of getting this out, whatever this is about for you, Leo, which I do feel has got a lot to do with a strong, passionate relationship that somehow has kind of gone I'm getting tits up in my head. It's like, no, I don't want to say that, but I'm going to say it anyway. So basically, yeah, it's a situation that's gone tits up. It's kind of like just, it's not what you were expecting. And this person, it wasn't what they were expecting either on some levels, even though I feel that they may somehow have some responsibility for it. But I'm also seeing them as this bright, bright light for you. That they shine like, this light just shines out of them for you. And that's the attraction. That's what you keep going back towards. It is literally like a moth to a flame. It's like that light is so bright that this person is so, for you, they are very... How can you put it? Yeah, I'm seeing that kind of, that same torch there, if you see the this here. But at the moment this is very subdued because she's in reverse. Whoever this is, he or she, male or female, it's not the gender that's important, it's the energy that is being spoken about here. So either way, it could be a feminine that's got a lot of masculinity about them, a lot of drive, a lot of dynamic energy, very passionate, very forceful in a way as well. But there is something for you that just really pulls you towards that, Leo. Strong-minded, strong-willed, knows what they want, knows what they don't want. And again, there's 3 foxes there, which is interesting. So again, there's this feeling of this third energy. Just notice that with the 3 foxes, it's like 3 is a crowd, is what's coming through for me here, Leo. So I don't know if that makes any sense to you. 3 is a crowd. This person may be feeling pushed out. They may not be trusting what you're saying to them or telling them. And we have the Fool and the 10 of Cups. So this person literally wants to take a leap of faith towards their happiness. The Fool energy here, I'm seeing that very much as kind of leaping towards this 10 of Cups energy. And it's come out over the top of your King of Wands and your Knight of Swords. This very sudden change of energy. Something shifting very, very fast between the 2 of you. Yeah, this person, they literally just want to be happy. They just want that 10 of Cups. They want happiness. They want long-lasting happiness. Whether or not they still want that with you, Leo, is open to debate at this time, I feel. Which is possibly why you both need to have these conversations that you're not having. Because either you or they keep sneaking out the back door and keep blocking whatever this is. Keep putting that block up. But that's all this person is wanting, is their happiness. And maybe they thought that that was you at one time, Leo. But after what's happened, whatever has happened here, and it's either one side or the other that has caused this situation to happen, and the other person has, I feel, just shut down, or maybe both of you have shut down because neither of you want to actually talk about it or look at it. But this person is very much looking for that happiness with somebody. And they're ready to do it. They're ready to just take that leap of faith and trust that path to their happiness. They're ready, willing, open. They also may want to kind of, which is interesting because I feel as though similar kind of story with you on what I was talking about earlier about cutting out all of that stuff. Let's not, it's like neither of you want to talk about what's happened. It's like both of you just want to kind of leap into the now and just kind of like, let's just forget everything else and just leap into the now. But I don't feel as though, I feel as though that's what causes this to happen time and time again, for some of you, time and time again. So this person may also be feeling the same. It's like, you know, I just want to leap into my happiness. I just want it now. This is what's in this person's head. They just want happiness now. And they may not want to go through that process of kind of building on something. It's like from the ace to the 10, all in one go. And just miss out everything in between. So let's see why the Queen of Wands is here. What is the Queen of Wands about? There may be as well, I'm getting rose-tinted glasses in a way with this person as well. Like they may fall in love very easily. Or they've fallen in love with you, Leo, very easily. And possibly also what this is saying. Because there is a very strong attraction here. And it does feel like there is love here as well, even if it is confused or being held back or guarded at this time. But it feels as though there's a lot of passion, like the relationship itself has been built on a lot of passion, possibly a lot of sexual texting each other, sexting each other, everything else that goes along with all of that. If there's been this space between you, it's still very strongly, that is the connection between the two of you that has kind of kept that going in a way. Over the top of the Queen of Wands here, we have the Four of Pentacles. So this is an energy of hoarding, of holding on to something. And this could also be what I was feeling earlier again. There is a sense, I did get very strongly, that somebody did not want to let somebody else go. So this could also be that they do not want to let you go as well, because I'm kind of getting that sense with the King and the Queen being in reverse. But you two are very similar, but what you possibly don't realise is that one of you is the masculine to the other person's feminine and vice versa. And so in a way that's what brings that clashing in as well. So whichever one here is the male or the female, again it can be gender neutral, but even so there will be more of one attribute than the other within that relationship. One of you will have more masculine or more feminine dynamic and play out that kind of role. I've been around gender neutral people as they're called, and I have seen the way the dynamic plays out, and funnily enough it nearly always ends up with one person being more the masculine or more the feminine. Very rarely do you get couples who are very just one energy. But there is something here about somebody who's really not wanting to let this go. Like, you are, Leo, you are theirs, is how it's coming through. It's like, I see this dragon, and dragons, of course, hoard gold and they sit on gold, and it's kind of like, you know, this is mine, you don't touch. Don't get anywhere near it. It's taken me a long time to gather this together, or to get to this point, or it's kind of how it's coming through, almost like a sense of this person feeling like they've been through a lot to get to where they are. And even if you're not, like I say, even if you're not talking at this time, there is almost this sense of understanding that you are right for each other, or meant for each other. That there's a dynamic between you, that you are working things out on another level somehow. Something that is shifting and changing, transforming. And I feel as though it's a slow occurrence, it's a slow happening here, Leo. Something that has been taking place slowly. And there may have been times where you've both thought, that's it, it's done, it's finished, it's over. But it isn't. It's just another stage of that very slow transformational energy that this is creating. This whole situation is creating, I feel. Underneath we have the Knight of Swords, which you also have up there as well, so that's interesting. You have the Knight of Swords in your head, and you're aware of that kind of very sudden change, and like things being one way and then all of a sudden everything changed for no apparent reason or no explanation. Whereas this person has got this in their subconscious. So it could be that they are the person that has caused this change, this immediate change as well. Just when possibly you were becoming a bit more balanced in a way. Even though I don't feel that you have been totally balanced in this situation for some time, Leo. But they have this ability to do that. They have this ability to just kind of change the dynamic, or change the sorry, my nose is really, really itchy. Happens a lot when I'm doing readings. Yeah, to just change that dynamic, to just kind of veer off course in a way, is what I'm getting. Like, you may think that you're on a certain path with this person, and then something happens and they will just kind of like throw a spanner in the works. And I'm getting the expression here from somewhere of keeping you on your toes, Leo. This person keeps you on your toes, and I think that's another thing that you really like about them. There's no stagnation. with this person. So let's see why the Ace of Cups here is in reverse. But I do feel as well that it does kind of unbalance you. It does kind of throw you off course or throw your world off course. So over the top of the Ace of Cups, we have the Chariot again in reverse. So this person's also feeling a bit stuck, which is interesting because I was just saying there's no stagnation with this person. But there's going to be this element, and it could be because it's over the top of your Ace of Cups as well, that they too do not know how to move this forward. Like both of you are in the same kind of energy. Whereas you may be feeling it more now, this person's going to be feeling it more in the future. It's the energy that is coming in, that they don't know how to turn this cup upright, or how to turn the Chariot upright and the cup upright so that this can move forward with some stability, with some honesty, with some trust. Yeah, it just feels at this time that there's a crab down there as well, which is interesting because, as I was saying earlier about testing the water, but it is in reverse. So this person also doesn't know. They may also actually try to test the water with you, Leo, to see where they stand. Whether or not you still want to take this forward with them. Or are you moving forward with somebody else? Is also what's coming through. So there could be a third party, a third energy. Definitely feels like a third energy here. Somehow. Again, it does not have to be a person. It could be a situation. Something has brought something to a kind of halt here on both of your sides, Leo. Something's not moving forward, something's blocked, something's stood still. And it may be that other parts of your life are fine and are running okay, but in this situation it definitely feels as though there is this it's coming through as well, like a feeling of stubbornness. Like neither of you want to budge from the positions that you've taken. And that's what I was getting with that King of Swords energy for you up there, Leo, is definitely like, you know, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to wait for you to come to me. Do not expect me to come to you, because that's not happening, is kind of how it came out. I'm not taking those two, but I will take this one because it was upright, and we have the Three of Pentacles. Over the top of this over the top of the Seven of Swords and the Chariot, we have the Three of Pentacles. So as I was saying, there is this stubbornness, because the Three of Pentacles talks about a situation for teamwork, for creating something with somebody else, for building on something. If you see here, he's actually holding her up on his shoulders to help her to reach the star above. He's lovingly supporting her. Again, male, female, not gender specific, but because it's in reverse, there is a definite energy of lack of support here. So this person may be feeling as though you are not supporting them in their emotional needs, maybe. Definitely, if you keep walking out that back door every time something needs to be dealt with, Leo, and just leave the situation stranded, like completely stranded kind of energy is how it feels, like just going nowhere, in the middle of nowhere, like in a desert. It just becomes like a desert. And I would say that's on both sides as well, for the pair of you. It's like neither of you are willing to back down or to like feed into it in a way, like to nourish it is also how it's coming through. Like when you cut off, you like completely, there's no nourishing from either side. It's very severe, in fact, very severe energy. It also kind of feels like all or nothing. It's an all or nothing energy. Like it's either all on and full on and really like red hot, roasting kind of energy, or it's nothing. It's just barren. That's how it's kind of coming through. And this person could be also feeling that you are not supporting them, as I was saying, or you could also be feeling that this person doesn't support your needs, Leo. Incredible. You've both got the Death card in exactly the same place here, Leo, except this one is in reverse. Let me just take my glasses off for a second so I can see better. Well, it is about transformation. What I'm seeing here as well is this kind of phoenix rising from the flames of the ashes. But because it's in reverse, it almost feels as though this person feels that this is taking far too long. It's like, this should be done by now. Why is it feels like dragging on. Like this person keep finding themselves back in this place. Funny, because I was talking about the desert. And that's how it feels for this person, literally, like scorching sun bearing down on them. It's hot for this person in that sense of they feel as though there's nothing. Like I was saying here, that nothing is kind of being fed. It's an all or nothing situation. But it's like this person is waiting for this rebirth, this something to change, possibly within you, Leo. maybe that they're waiting, but they are waiting with you. The two of you are going through this birthing, transformational, changing process, which I feel is part of this whole dynamic between the two of you. Very strongly, this dynamic is about this process. The pair of you are actually helping each other go through this process. You may not be aware of that, Leo, but that's what's happening here. Or you cross-watchers, for anybody who's watching this as well, you may not be aware of the fact that this is what's going on for the pair of you. And that is another reason why it's painful as well, because both of you just want it done. You just want it done. You either want it done, or you want this part of it over so that you can, like, reach a new start. Because that's another thing with the Eight of Pentacles as well, with all those 7 in the past. It's like, this is what we are working on now. But it's not happening. And it feels as well that on some level it kind of gets to a point for this person where they feel as though they're getting to that phoenix stage of kind of releasing and rebirthing and coming out into a new world and a new beginning where everything is new and fresh, possibly with you, Leo, and then something closes it all down again and they're back in this kind of burning stage again, back to kind of again, kind of that feeling of being in that desert. And I'm also getting kind of feeling like they're alone in this as well, that there is no support. And because, of course, death, transformation, change is a very personal thing. It happens on a very deep, personal, inner level. You can't really explain the process. It's an alchemical process that is taking place here. So over the top of this Eight of Pentacles, we have the Emperor energy. Yeah, that's interesting, because I'm seeing it again, like this person trying to, like, if you see, he's kind of coming out of this tree, almost like he's birthing out of this tree, and it's kind of similar for me of this energy here. So this person just wants to take back control of their life, is how it's coming out for me, with this Chariot kind of being stuck. And it's coming out over the top of this Eight of Pentacles. So this person feels like their hope and fear, if you like, is that they will eventually come out of this as a master of their own destiny. And that all of this will be behind them, that the transformation, and it does feel again with this, I'm seeing this Emperor literally like bursting out of this tree, and he's holding this crystal ball in his hands. So this person may also be very in tune, intuitive. I know the Emperor's not often seen as being in tune or intuitive, because he's much more about the physical realm. but he has a crystal ball in his hands here. At least that's how it's coming through for me. And then there's all this stuff in this circle around here as well. Look at that circle there. There's all that stuff as well that's kind of reflecting. I feel it's like this ball here is kind of reflecting behind him as well, like in a bigger sense of things, like a bigger understanding of things. Like seeing the bigger picture. That this person is wanting to see the bigger picture, or they're in the process of understanding the bigger picture and their part and their role in all of this dynamic. And in doing so, allowing it to play out in the way that it needs to play out, even though they really, really want it kind of over and done with. It almost feels as though they're waking up to hope and a fear. So there's a part of them that is hoping that this is what it's all about for them, and for you too, Leo. So the final card that we have here, which is interesting the way this has come out, is the world energy, but it's in reverse. And so what I'm getting here is that this person, as I was saying, they want it over and done with. They want it finished. They want the world to change. They want the end of that cycle. They want to move into this new cycle. They want to leap into happiness and find that happiness possibly within them as well, like within and without of them, if you know what I mean by that. It's like they're beginning to understand that that happiness is going to have to come from within themselves. But she too has a crystal ball in her hand there as well. Which again, I suppose, is similar to, well, it's similar to this as in a crystal ball, but it can also literally be the world being held in her hands here. It is in reverse. So again, I get the strong feeling that this person really, really wants that cycle over and done with. They really want to kind of move on to fresh beginnings, new starts. But at the same time, they're kind of holding that back. I feel as though this person has a lot of kind of perception, but they're very in tune with themselves. They may not always listen or take notice, but they are very aware of other energies, shall we say. But I also feel that with this world card in reverse, they're kind of holding things back themselves because they're still wanting this with you, Leo. And because neither of you have actually resolved the issues here, neither of you are actually knowing what the other one wants. So both of you are kind of in this position of not being aware of how much the connection between the two of you is creating the whole dynamic. So I feel with this person here, maybe not for all of you, but for some of you Leos, this person does not want to take that step forward without knowing for definite whether or not you are going to, again, this kind of sense of this Two of Pentacles energy here as well, like past energy, future energy, and this kind of magnetic kind of frequency between the two. So it still feels very open-ended. It still feels as though nothing has been decided, nothing's been resolved. It's interesting as well, because as I was saying with this one, that this person wants to be the master of their own destiny. Their hope and their fear is possibly that things are running away from them, or time is running away from them. But here they're kind of stopping themselves from being master of their own destiny, because they're not allowing that change to occur, for that rebirth and that new start, that new beginning. And I do feel it is because, Leo, they're not sure of what your choices and decisions are. So they are holding back because they can't make a decision, or they can't move forward without also knowing what you're doing. And it's interesting because I feel it's the same for you on a similar level as well. You're also kind of doing the same thing, holding it back. So let's have a quick look at the Black Moon astrology cards and see what the energy astrologically is for you at this time, Leo, that you're working with mostly. I'm not taking all of them, just one. Interesting there, you've got a Grand Cross come out, and we do have a Grand Cross happening at this full moon. Okay, so Sagittarius I see, and Venus love. Well, love is definitely the issue here, I would say, with this Ace of Cups, and Sagittarius is the bigger picture. So it is about kind of seeing the bigger picture, pushing beyond the boundaries. Jupiter also, Sagittarius, wants the truth. Wisdom, knowledge, understanding, higher thinking. Venus is about your values, beauty, relationships. So let's have a quick dive and see. I won't read all of it, I'm just going to see what jumps out. So, okay, the Venus card says to let love take care of it for now. Venus is the morning star. Venus is the lesser Neptune. Love, romance and art are her domains, yet she doesn't get lost in them and lose her practical side. In fact, Venus is the planet of fashion, luxuries, balance, symmetry, artistic ability and sugary foods, and she prefers to overlook the ugliness of the world. Which could also be one of the reasons why neither of you want to talk this through, because you could both be scared of the of that dynamic, of that side of it, of the kind of ugliness of it, or the bits of it that are going to cause issues or problems for you both. It almost feels like skirting around the edges of things. This card indicates either a new love coming into your life or the improvement or a new start for an older love relationship. So when the Venus card presents itself in a reading, the first thing to focus on is romance and love, but after that, creativity and refinement. Matters of the heart, feelings of comfort, a need to be coddled or comforted, the feeling of not wanting to be rushed, a need to relax, become more balanced and contented. And the key words are comforts, love, beauty, eating, sensing, relating, expansive and purchases. I'm just going to say that really it's talking about this relationship that really needs to be, because it's definitely there. There is a relationship, whether or not the pair of you are kind of seeing it as a relationship or relating to it as a relationship or allowing it to be a relationship. There is definitely love there. There is definitely a attraction between the two of you. There is definitely strong feelings for each other. But again, there's this sense of not communicating it. And Sagittarius is saying, let's have a look. You're just about ready to hit your mark. That is another thing about Sagittarius. Aiming at what they want, going for what they want. Highly idealistic, creative or outdoorsy. I don't think that's really the issue here though. I think it's more about seeing a bigger picture. And the truth, justice, law, wanting things to be understood from a higher level, understanding from a higher level. It's kind of what's coming through for me here. And there's a sense of, because Venus says love and Sagittarius says I see, and I kind of get the feeling that that's literally what it's about. It's like I see love. It's like you're not. A pair of you are both kind of missing it, or kind of not recognizing it, or refusing to connect with it, is how that's coming through for me there. But for some of you Leos as well, it could also be that you're needing to aim that arrow elsewhere and allow something to come to an end. That maybe should have already come to an end. But there is such a strong sense of connection between the two of you. Okay, I'm going to take this one. Transformation. Your relationship will sorry, your relationship with one another is about to deepen. Love conquers and transforms all things. Which is reminding me very much of, obviously, this death energy that we've got down here. And this heart being also, with this Ace of Wands as well, being reawoken. Something being rewoken. Something being purified as well. Again, which I got with this death card here. A sense of purification, a sense of something being, like all the dross, as I was saying, kind of being burnt away. So, Leo, I'm going to leave your reading there and say I hope that you have enjoyed it. I hope you've got something from it, that it's benefited you somehow. If it has, please could you thumbs it up for me, because that really helps to grow my channel, really helps for the algorithms to pick it up, get it out there into the bigger, broader YouTube world, where hopefully it will get picked up by more people. It can also be recommended on other channels as well. It's all down to the algorithms, which is why everybody is always going on about please, 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 please like our channel, thumb them up for us. Also, thank you to those of you who have done that already. I really do appreciate it. And if you have subscribed already, thank you very much. If you haven't, please could you do that as well? Again, another big help in making my channel grow, which is what I'm kind of here to try and do at this time. So there will be a subscription thing which you can tap, and that little bell comes up and you can hit that if you want to get my readings as and when I put them out. I do all the sun signs. I also do all the new moon and full moon readings, both the astrology and the tarot readings for them as well, although I am having trouble actually uploading my videos at the moment. I don't know why, but they seem to be taking an extremely long time to get uploaded. I don't know if that's a YouTube thing or just an internet thing in general at this moment, but there seems to be some difficulty there, so I will apologise now for any lateness in videos that aren't coming out. So share my videos as well, please, if you feel that they may benefit anybody else that you know who's in a situation similar to the one that you've just kind of heard me go through. Also, could you, brain's just gone completely blank. I hate it when that happens. Also, could you please, yep, brain blank. So probably best to just leave it there and say thank you again very much for watching it, and take really good care of yourselves at this time, Leo, and hopefully I will see you again soon.